Hey guys, my name is Andrew Mast and I want to show you a way you can raise goats inexpensively without permanent fencing or infrastructure. The cheapest way to keep your goats contained would be with an electric fence, and that's what I chose. One style of electric fence you see a lot for goats is the netting style from Premier 1. A reason I did not go with these is because the terrain I live in is really hilly, there's a lot of woods, and it's uneven terrain. So I thought the set spacing of the stakes was a limiter, and I thought the netting would be grounding out all the time with the uneven terrain I have. I decided to go with the 4-strand electric fence where you can put as many posts as needed depending on your terrain. It does take a little more time to set up, but I think it's a little more customizable for your terrain because you can put more posts, you can make it shorter, longer if needed. These are the posts that I use. They're just simple pigtail posts that you can find at most of your farm stores. I added 3 electric fence insulators to the bottom of it so I can space my extra 3 wires. Top one goes through the pigtail. This is a heavy duty one made from galvanized steel. I use it on the corners because it will hold up to the tension a lot better than this one right here. I use on straight runs. I don't use it on corners because it'll bend a whole lot easier than this heavy duty one. I did experiment with these plastic cheap ones you can find at pretty much all your farm stores. I highly recommend not going with these. Don't waste your money with them, even though they're less than $2. I found that less than a year they start breaking, especially down here at the base. When you're trying to shove it into hard ground, if there's any kind of torque on it, it's going to snap it right here. And also these clips for the wire, they're just really hard to put the wire in and out of. And if they sit in the sun anytime, they're going to snap real easy. Had a bunch of those do that. And also the metal spike, it's too thick to put into hard ground, and you're going to struggle and it's just going to be a pain. The wire I used is this poly wire, and you can find it at most farm stores. Pretty much all of them are going to have it. Basically what it is, it's a plastic string material that has small tiny little wires running through it that'll carry the current. And this comes in about a 1,600 foot length, I believe. You can get longer, you can get shorter, but the common one is about 1,600 feet, I believe. You also need a reel or of some sort to easily manage the wire. This is the style reel I used to begin with. It's the cheapest one made by Gallagher. I paid around $30 for it at our local feed store, which you might pay a little more, a little less, depending where you're at. It works. It is made for electric fencing, but it is slow and loud, as you can hear. But it does work. Some people do use the extension cord reels. I don't have experience using those, but I don't think they're made to sit out in the sun very long, so I doubt they would last very long. I decided to go with a dedicated electric fence reel just for practicality and durability. If you have the money, I highly recommend going with a geared reel. This is Gallagher brand, and it's a 3-to-1 ratio. That means every time you spin this 1 time, the reel spins 3 times, so you can reel up 1,600 feet pretty quick. I suggest going with a little bit higher quality. It'll save you more time and energy, and in the long run you'll probably end up buying it anyways, so you just have bought 2 products. My whole setup, excluding the Energizer, cost me just under $300. That's 2 paddocks, 800 linear feet of the 4-strand electric fence. From the research I've done, I haven't found any setup cheaper than that. Now that we talked about the fencing, you'll need an electric fence Energizer to actually keep your goats in. You'll see that the Energizers have 2 numbers on it. One is the miles of fencing it can do. Disregard that number. The number you want to look at is the number of joules the output is. If you're going to set up your fence with high grass that can touch the wires, I recommend getting 2 joules of output. because the grass can ground out the spark and it won't be as powerful. So if you go up in joules, you can have higher grass touching the wire and it'll still produce a pretty hot spark. You're also going to need some kind of shelter for your goats. This can be something simple and mobile. It just has to be able to keep them out of the cold and rain. Subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when I post some more videos. I plan on coming out with 2 videos here shortly. One showing you how I made a simple shelter that's mobile and super light. And another video of how you can make your own solar powered electric fence energizer. I hope this video was helpful and thank you so much for watching.